So you're interested in doing your first Ironman, your first 70.3, your first triathlon, or maybe you're just excited. What is it? What is an Ironman? What should I expect? What do I need to know? And if you've already done a couple Ironmans, I'm probably not the guy. Go learn from someone else better. I'm just saying strictly that this is for people that are getting straight into it and what I did and my mistakes and what I wish I would have known before my first Ironman. And I'm Joseph McMahon, and our one mission in life is to get out of our comfort zone and become the best self possible. That all being said, let's jump straight into it. What is an Ironman? An Ironman 70.3 is a 1.2 mile open water swim. Afterwards, then you go to transition, which means that you get from the swim to transition, you get dressed, and now you go bike ride for 56 miles. From there, you come back, you get dressed again for the run portion, and then you go on a half marathon, which is 13.1 miles of running, baby. What are some of the things that I wish I would have just known about this race? I feel like why this video is so good is because some of the people that I was watching I felt almost out of touch with. Some of these people were already doing, 15 freaking Ironmans, which is awesome for them. But I don't know that they could relate to me because they've already so far ahead, And yeah, so that all being said, I got disqualified from my first freaking Ironman. I've done one triathlon before this. It was very small and not strict at all. It was about a quarter-mile swim, a 13-mile bike ride, and a 3-mile run after that, 3.2 mile run, 5K. And I literally remember just being the happiest camper in the world. I was like, bro, I freaking did this. This is awesome. I did not do good at all. It was like extremely slow, but I was like, wow, this is what I'm doing with my life. This is what I'm going to do. I love this. I love getting out the comfort zone. I love just waking up on a Sunday morning and doing this. But I just immediately fell in love. My background growing up was sports. It was the only thing that I ever loved really doing. It was my first deep love. Things that I've loved so much in life come from sports. It taught me so much of discipline. The list goes on. Yeah, so I played soccer, played football, played basketball, did track and field, mostly the field portion, never ran track. And I would see people on cross country, and they would be running about 3 to 5 miles, on a day. They're doing a long run a day. They're doing 3 miles. And I remember thinking, guys, these people are fucking crazy. You're running 3 miles, and now it's normal, to see me run 10 miles on a Saturday before I go to work. And why do I say that is because I remember being obese. Right now I'm 5'9", about 180. And 3 or 4 years ago, I was the heaviest I've ever been. Not happy, not working out. I was at 230 pounds, so roughly, give or take, about 50 pounds heavier. And I was like, no, I can't even run a quarter mile. And now I signed up for my first Ironman. I got disqualified. And I say that all just to say, I really believe that anybody can do an Ironman, but there's a lot of things that come into it. It's not just about showing up. There's a lot of discipline that goes involved. There's a lot of things that you should really do differently. And yeah, and why this is way more relatable is because I don't have an expensive bike. I don't have the $15,000 bike, the $10,000 bike. I don't run 5-minute miles. I run, 8 to 10 minute mile pace, and just a lot more relatable. So that all being said, let's jump straight into the video of things that I wish I'd known before doing the Ironman. So with the Ironman, it's going to be a lot more strict. If we didn't already talk about that and address it, you have places like the Rock and Roll Marathon. You have the things like SoCal, I think it's called SoCal, which is a triathlon. You have local races that are going to be around here. No matter what, they're most likely going to allow you to finish the race. The Ironman is not going to be like that. They're going to be very strict. So if you go swimming and you don't make the time, guess what? You're getting disqualified. They're taking your chip and you cannot finish the race. You don't make the transition. I didn't really see people get disqualified for the transition, but you're only allowed to take 10 minutes for the transition. The bike ride is where I got disqualified at mile 46. About mile 45 to 46, they had a checkpoint. Whenever I got there, I got disqualified because I missed it by 4 or 5 minutes. And these are the things that you just got to know. They're going to pull in front of you, and they're going to say, yo, man, you cannot go. Give me your chip. I was with about 5 other guys, and they escorted us back. They threw our bikes in the truck, or in the van to be exact, and about 6 of us went to the transition, and we had to wait about 2 hours to get our bikes. Everybody else had to finish, and whenever everyone, was able to put their bikes up and start running, then at this time, we were able to grab the rest of our stuff. That's number one, what I wish I would have known. And yeah, they talk about this before the race. You're going to have 2 meetings usually before the day before your race, and they have, maybe 2 that Saturday of just a meeting talking about everything that they're going to walk you through, etc. But guess what? They really mean that. You better finish. If not, you're getting disqualified and they're escorting you the fuck out. So mistake number one that I did was I did not do my nutrition. I was like, no, I don't have no plans of what to do on my training. I had nothing. Nothing of, okay, 2 days a week I'm going to be bike riding. 2 days a week I'm going to be running. 2 days a week I'm going to be swimming. I literally just was like, my two worst things at this is I don't even really know how to swim. I don't know how to swim and breathe, and I'm horrible at running. And that was just my foundation. I didn't really have anything. So I was like, okay, I've been bike riding for a long time. Since I was a baby, it feels like. And you get that first bike and you're like, okay, I kind of know what to expect for bike riding. I can't run 13.1 miles, and I damn sure can't swim 1.2 miles. So let's just go ahead. Let's attack the hardest thing possible. Let's start with the running. So I started with running, and I was running about 2 to 3 times a week, also lifting weights. 1 day a week I would do legs. 1 day a week I would do chest and tricep, and 1 day a week I would do back. So meanwhile, I would be running, building the foundation, getting the miles in. I would do 2 runs. One would be 3 miles and at a little bit faster pace, maybe 9 minutes a mile. I would look at my heartbeat and try to stick around the 150 range. And if I did a long run, which is 13.1, I would be like, okay, I'm going to do about 10 to 13 miles on my long days. And that's just what I would do. And I didn't have, slow down at this point, speed up, nutrition, nothing. It was just like, this is what we're going to do. I did that for about a month. And then the second month I did swimming. We're just trying to breathe in the pool and get the foundation. I did that for about a week. And then afterwards I worried a little bit about distance. The first, day of the week I would go swim about 20 laps. That's roughly maybe about 0.3 of a mile. And then 1 day a week I would try to do 60 to 80 laps. 1.2 is what I had to do, which equivalent to about 80 laps. And so I didn't have any foundation. Most people, whenever they start to swim, I've heard people whenever we were doing the Ironman and I was talking to people, they were swimming about 6 to 7 miles a week. I was mostly doing maybe about 2 miles at most. Honestly, I wouldn't even really count it that high, but I would say 2 miles because I was swimming about 3 times a week that second month of training. And yes, the biggest thing in life, or for this race, is the bike ride. And I only bike ride 3 times. My furthest bike ride that I did was 30 miles. That was dumb, And the other time was learning how to clip on and off my shoes for my bike. Most people, if you did not know, whenever they're doing an Ironman, they're going to have clip-on shoes. It's just so your feet won't slip. I feel like they give you a little bit more power because sometimes whenever you're pushing as hard as you can and you're cranking, sometimes your shoes slip off if you're having, regular shoes. That's why people wear these. And I was just like, I got to have them. So I put them on, and that was learning how to use those 2 days before the race. I already know I set myself up for a disaster. And not only that, I did not know about the nutrition. Those are all the things that you need to learn. Now that we got all that out the way, we're going to be talking about the next 3 things and putting them from categories. Number 1 is swimming. So swimming. I bought a wetsuit off Amazon. It was about $60. If you get something, I would recommend getting the zipper in the back because in the front, it almost feels like it's in your way. So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is that freaking swim in it. Obviously, this is going to be like, bro, why are you telling me this? Because guess what? I made these mistakes, and I know of some people that have done the same thing. Half the people at the 70.3 Ironman that were there that weekend, it was their first time too. So they made a lot of mistakes of this. Now, try that on, swim with it, and guess what? If you have the option to wear it and it is your first time, I would highly recommend you wear it. I did not wear my wetsuit because I was like, you know what? I've never swam in my wetsuit. And the guy that was doing the Ironman and talking, the announcer of the Ironmans were saying, you shouldn't really wear your wetsuit. And if you do, it's going to be really hot and you're going to be placed in the back. Without him saying it, it seemed like it was looked really down upon to wear a wetsuit. Guess what? If it's your first time, wear a wetsuit if you want to, bro. I wish I would have done that because I think my times would have been a little bit faster. Definitely would have. And what is a wetsuit? A wetsuit is going to allow you to just float a lot easier on the water. One thing that I didn't know too is that people buy skins. And what is skins? Skins is going to be something that's almost self-explanatory. It's a skin tight, suit. It's not a wetsuit. You know, a wetsuit is going to make you float. A skin tight suit is just really, it feels like so thin on you, and it almost just makes you aerodynamic in the water, right? And these things between the wetsuit and the skins, a lot of people use ROKA is the brand. Spelling it out for you so you just know, and you can look it up yourself. These wetsuits are going to be roughly around $325 is where it's going to start, all the way up to $1,300. And this is what the brand that a lot of people are wearing out there. The next thing that I would say is that if you swim 100 times in goggles, guys, wear the same goggles. So 3 days before the race, or 3 swims before the race, I tried these new goggles. And the whole time, whenever I was swimming, maybe I should have tightened up a little bit. Whenever I would swim, a lot of water was getting in my goggles. And they were the type of goggles where you press on the goggles and it pushes out all the air. So it almost just feels like it's a suction cup on your eyes. But they weren't sticking on. You got to remember that whenever you're swimming, you have a lot of people, not to scare you, but you have people that are accidentally kicking you in the head. You have people that are accidentally pulling your leg. You have people that are accidentally, hitting your hands, your goggles, everything. It's, 100, it's almost 3,000 people are swimming in this open water, and you're let go every 4 seconds. 4 more people get in the water. 4 more seconds, 4 more people get in the water, and etc. So make sure that you're ready for all this. And honestly, this was one of the most hardest things I've ever experienced, because you have the jet skis driving, the water is going in your mouth, you have the waves going, you have everybody swimming around you, and it is one of the most best things in life whenever you finally get to the end, because it's like, holy cow, I'm unstoppable. I just did this. I really believe that you can do it too, but it's gonna take a lot of mental strength to just get through it. And those are the things that I wish I would have known before the race. A little bit self-explanatory, but something that you should know too. And also, if you're doing the Ironman and you're going from the transition, you're going to walk upstream for 1.2 miles. And what I did wrong was that I didn't have shoes on. There was, half the people that were doing this didn't have shoes on, and half the people that did took, $3 flip-flops that, they could just throw that aside. If they don't see them again, okay. But that's the thing. You're going from the transition, checking, make sure that your bike and everything is good, walking upstream, like I said. And if your feet are not used to walking on this, that can be a really big problem. So now we're going to be talking about the bike. And what is so good about the bike? The bike is one of the strongest suits for a lot of people. It's one of the things that you have to be the most strongest, because it's the longest part of the race. It is half the race. It's 56 miles worth. So make sure that you get extremely comfortable on the bike. Make sure that you're, getting those miles in on the bike. Make sure that you're going all in. Make sure that if you're bike riding, you're racing or you're riding like it's race day. You have your helmet on. You have the same glasses that you're going to have on. Have the same shorts that you're going to have on. Have maybe the same shirt. And why do I bring up the shorts? Well, the shorts you're going to want cushion on, because you're going to be sitting on this really thin seat for 56 miles. And while you're doing the bike riding, make sure that you're getting used to having your stomach get used to all the mileage, first of all, but all the nutrition. The nutrition is where you're going to be eating the most, because it's going to funnel into giving you energy for the run. Not only that, you don't want to be cramping up on the bike. And whenever you go into the transition phase, you're going to have everything on the floor and have everything already ready. Okay, as soon as I get off the water, I have everything ready that I'm going to either put, a lot of people, they wear jerseys where they have 3 pockets in the back. You're putting all your gels or snacks in, your back 3. What I really liked and what I should have done differently is that put all your gels on one side, maybe your left side, and you eating your gels or you're eating your snacks, and then you're putting all your trash on the right side. Because what I was doing was I was getting a gel, I was eating it, and then I was putting it back. And whenever you're riding for 56 miles, you're sitting there, oh, okay, wait, that gel is used. Oh, wait, this snack is already eaten. Okay, wait, no, this is the gel that I want. And then you're eating it. So stuff like that, that's something that would be extremely helpful. But yeah, just get the miles in and race the same way. So what also a lot of people do is that, and what I should have been doing, probably bike ride twice a week, I would say. One long, one short, maybe one short 20 miler. And at the end, put it at the hardest crank and bike ride as hard as you can for 5 to 10 minutes and just give it your all. And where did I learn this from? Tell me why 2 days before I'm doing my Ironman and going to my last swim, I see this guy that I always swim with. He goes, yo, bro, how are you doing? And I go, yeah, man, I'm freaking doing good. He's like, yeah, you weren't here yesterday. Sometimes it's cool to be swimming with someone out here. And I'm like, oh, heck yeah. And I said, man, this guy is really fast. Like, he's really good. What does he do? So I said, yo, bro, like, are you training for exercise or why are you swimming so much? And why do you swim for so long? He goes, I have a race in Hawaii. And I go, okay. Okay, by chance, is it an Ironman? He goes, yeah. I go, by chance, is it a championship? He goes, yeah. And I was like, bro, what? This guy made it into the championships. And then I go, how many have you done? He goes, I've done 17 halves and I've done like 6 or 7 fulls. And I was like, fulls, which is 140.3 or 140. Yeah, you get it. The fulls. And I go, bro, what the hell? And he's like, yeah, man, I'm 56 or 58 years old. I've been doing this, since my younger 20s. And this is going to be my last race. And I was like, this whole time, I could have been getting advice from me. So he gave me all these things. He just goes, yo, man. So I just start asking him questions that I could use for what I could use for this race. But yeah, man, I just told him, many blessings come your way. I hope you do great. I will know that you will do amazing. And I'll see you soon whenever I come back from my Ironman and you come back from yours, because his was like a week or two after. So yeah, anyways, what he was telling me though is that whenever you're training, you should do a burnout, for the last 10 minutes just to get your leg endurance up. And a lot of people either cramp up for 2 reasons on this long bike ride on the Ironman. Number one, they're either not used to, going up and down the hills with all this wind going around you, because all of this race was either highway or farmland all around. So wind felt like it was coming from every single direction. And the reason why I bring this up is because sometimes you're not used to that, and people cramp up because they're either not eating enough sodium or not eating enough and getting their electrolytes in, or their muscles are not used to this type of endurance. So then they start cramping up and they start tripping balls, and that's what my legs were doing. So hopefully that helps too. Obviously, I'm going to leave this at this because I did not get the chance to make it to the run. I got disqualified at mile 46, and it was one of the most devastating. It was honestly the most devastating thing in life. If I could paint you a picture, I'm like, oh, bro, I'm not going to make it. It's about 110. They said at 110 you get disqualified. I'm passing up people throughout the whole race. You either have people that are falling, bro. There was at one point where there was about, I would say, a good foot of the chunk of the road was missing in this back road. And all they did was, this was about 6 inches deep, and they just put rocks in it. And the rocks was a big hump too, so it looked like there was jaggers in there. It looked like it was like a huge speed bump that was just kind of pushed down. People were wiping out right there. People's water bottles were coming out, so then people were running over them. They were falling down. People were getting in ambulances. People were just wiping out right there. People were getting flats because of the rocks that were jagged up. So what I'm getting at is that I was passing people this whole time that were either having flats, either having wipeouts, either getting injured, getting hurt. I even fell once because since it was my second time ever using Snap-on shoes, I tried to stop to get water, and I couldn't get one of my shoes off, and I fucking fell, dude. And the guys were like, and I was looking like an amateur. Technically, I was. But that all being said, too, the last thing that I'm going to leave you with the bike ride is that if I could, I would go back and I would get 4 water bottles, 2 right underneath you and 2 in the back. 2 of the water bottles I'd have water, 2 of the water bottles I'd have electrolytes, because some of these people weren't stopping since they had 4 water bottles. And some of us, like myself, was stopping because you only had 2 waters with you. And which was the dumbest thing is that I was like, before this race, I don't even need water bottles. There's going to be, every 15 miles, there's going to be a checkpoint. I can just get my electrolytes there. I can get my water there. Bro, I'm so glad that I had water. If I did not have water with me, I would have been done for. But that's why I like these type of conversations, because like I said, as a beginner, you learn so much of just getting started. You learn so much of just doing it. You learn so much of just getting, just going to your first race. You learn so much of just signing up for a big thing like that. Some people are going to look at you and be like, you weren't prepared for this. You're a disgrace. And that's okay, because you're going to have people like that. And you're going to have some people that are going to be like, dude, you're a fucking badass. Like, I cannot believe that you even did this. And then your younger self that was the football player in high school that says, oh my gosh, bro, you can run 3 miles or longer, or you can go 56 miles or further. Yes, we do that now. But there's going to be, all different types of viewpoints to look at it. The number one thing is just get started. I promise you that you'll grow so much. It sucks, and you're going to have a lot of feeling if you get disqualified. Don't even have that in thoughts, because my family was there, and whenever they were there, I got disqualified, and I was like, bro, they just drove 3 hours. We spent $300, or we spent like $500 on this race, another $300 each to spend the night here, and the gas and everything that went into training. So yeah, it's fucking devastating. Use that as motivation not to get disqualified and train even harder. But like I said, just build the foundation, realize what you need. This is just a good video just so you know what to expect from an amateur and someone that was beginning. But that's all that's going to be, man. Go learn from someone else that's, done the 15 Ironmans. But also listen to this, because of the fact that I'm a little bit, if you've never done one before, maybe I'm a little bit advanced of like, okay, this is a little bit, feels like it's more realistic. But bottom line, man, you got this in the bag. Bottom line, don't get scared. Bottom line, you worked so hard for this. Bottom line, this is meant for you. Bottom line, enjoy the process, because a lot of us don't enjoy the process. I didn't really enjoy the process because I just had so much pressure of like, man, I really want to do this, and I hope that I do it, instead of just realizing like, yo, bro, 4 years ago, you couldn't even run a quarter mile. And 4 years ago, this is what you ran across on YouTube and wanted to do this. And 4 years ago, you would have never even, or all it was just a dream. And today, like, you're actually here, you're actually racing. And if you're training right now, or if you're racing, honestly too, remember that enjoy the moment, but this is a time race. So run your own race, but know that there's also times that you need to meet. But that all being said, I wish you nothing but blessings and luck on your training and on your first Ironman, or maybe you're just trying to get out your comfort zone in life. If you got any bit of value from this, please freaking throw us a like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. We're at 610 right now, and I have about roughly 3 months to do so. So anyways, like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one, and as always, stay fearless. We're out, baby.